What's up, everybody? This is Reno. I actually watched Dark last night, and this is my very first Dark review, except it wasn't Dark. It was Dark Elevation, the very first episode of Dark Elevation. Let me move the microphone closer to you. I got some loud neighbors outside. I don't want them to hear me. So, this is my first ever show reviewing Dark. Also, the very first Dark Elevation. So, Beth has her Dark Dive. I don't have a fancy name for this yet, but I'm just going to go right through the card and talk about the matches. So first thing I want to say is right off the bat, because I don't know where on the card this fell, but I did see the Lee Johnson, Lee Johnson featurette. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. So again, very popular. He just came out to Dynamite a couple weeks back, and he got to show off. So he did a really, really good job. I enjoyed it. I was a fan from day one. Big Shotty had a nice little featurette on AEW Dark Elevation. And I loved it. So, unfortunately, we didn't get to see him in a match. I was hoping that we would get to. But speaking of matches, there was a large card, maybe 12 matches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I undersold it. It was 14 matches. So, I'll go through them pretty quickly. Just like the matches themselves, the matches are pretty quickly. Beth doesn't like to talk about all of them. I will actually just go through all of them really quick. Some only like 5 seconds. So, real quick. First match ever on AEW Dark Elevation. It was Paul White in his first gig for AEW with Tony Schiavone, legend. First match was Danny Limelight. Those of you that watch New Japan, like me, New Japan Strong, Danny Limelight has been a regular wrestler on that show. Very good wrestler, and he fought another very good wrestler, Jungle Boy. What a great match to start off AEW Elevation, right? Couldn't pick two better guys to have a wrestling match. Well, you know what I mean. It was a very good pick. I'll just say it. Very good pick for a matchup, for a first match ever on AEW Dark Elevation. So, Jungle Boy, of course, got the win, but Danny Limelight never looks like a punk in his matches, and that's one thing I really like about this show, is people get to show off. People who aren't even signed, get to try out, and they get to have a proper tryout. They don't get a squash match, because in a squash match, all you're doing is selling. In a match like AEW, they don't have squash matches. They have quick matches, but, you know, for the most part, the squashes are very, very limited. So, Danny Limelight did really good. One of these days, I feel like we are going to get an all-elite graphic, and I know people are tired of hearing that because we have so many wrestlers signed already, and more get signed every week. But Danny Limelight is one of those guys that I would like to see signed. If he's not going to get signed, hey, at least put him on Dynamite Dark or Dynamite Dark, AEW Dark every week. Moving on after that match, like I said, that was probably one of the better matches of the show, one of the longer matches of the show as well. So if I were to look at the time of the match, I was just telling Beth, my cohort, 8 minutes and 32 seconds. It was actually the second longest match of the night. So look at that, just right there. If you like quick bursts, matches that are quick but full of energy, these are the matches for you. AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation, that is exactly what it gives you. It gives you a lot of matches, but it does it quickly. This show is only about 2 hours long. Next match of the night, really quick, Kip Sabian and Miro did get the win over Baron Black and Very Morales. I will say Baron Black seemed kind of normal to me. He didn't really stand out that much. He's probably been on Dark a few more times. I haven't seen him, but the one guy that I did like the look of a lot was Morales. He looked a lot like WCW days. Anybody watched the Cruiserweight division? Juventud Guerrera? That guy reminded me a lot of how that guy looked. So it was a short match, less than 5 minutes. And of course, we got to see Miro dominate, which I think it's going to be a slow burn. I think he's slowly going to win more matches, and he's going to become that dominant Miro that we all know he's going to be. Big Swole beat Skylar Moore, 5-minute match. Didn't get a chance to see that when I was getting ready for the next day. I'm sorry, but Beth doesn't cover every match, but I will cover every match, at least tell you who the winner was. That's because we're all busy people. We all watch wrestling throughout the week. Just now, I just got finished watching Impact, so I got to work in the morning again. I got to wake up at 4 o'clock. So try to do this very quickly because people like quick reviews. QT Marshall beat Marco Stunt. Don't think it was a surprise there. QT Marshall has kind of a heelish turn lately, and he got the win over Marco. Not much of a surprise. Then I was looking forward to this one. One of the most matches that I was looking forward to the most. God, I can't even say it right. Tay Conte gets me like that. She gets me all Twitter-pated, and I can't say the main words correctly. But Tay Conte was in a match versus Ashley Vox, who I'd actually met, and she's in Shimmer, and she's a tag team champion as well with Delmi Exo. So every time I see Ashley Vox on there, people that I've seen on the indie scene and people that I'm a fan of on the indie scene, it's very good. It's very fun. So she got to win. Tay Conte got to win in a 4-minute match versus Ashley Vox. Very quick, decisive victory for Tay Conte. And she was out there with -1, who I love seeing -1. I think he has all become our adopted child. -1 has had a very rough time last couple months with his father passing away, and there's some people out there that don't want to see him on TV. But as we've been saying, this has actually helped them get through this difficult time in their life. So I have no issues with that whatsoever. So every time Tay Conte comes out, she can have -1 with him, and I'd be fine. I don't know why this ad is playing and it's so long, but let me just get that out of the way. Sorry, guys. Unbelievable. All right, going back to my video, it's Chicago in the background. Then it was the Sydal brothers, Matt and Mike. Mike looks kind of like a dweeb to me, but great skills. Obviously, cohesion there. They're brothers. They've been wrestling together for years. Against Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Of course, they're unsigned talent. Of course, we knew the Sydal brothers were going to get the win there. But I will say that, again, I've not met these guys, but I've seen them a lot in Arizona. They did say something about them being West Coast wrestlers on the show. So Royce Isaacs and Jarrell Nelson, I believe I've seen Isaacs more, but I've seen them both as a team once as well over here in Arizona. Moving on, Red Velvet, she got a win versus Danny Jordan. She's just picking up momentum match after match as she had the big match on Dynamite with Shaq and Cody and all that. So here she is just still picking up victories after a very rough start. But once she became all elite, you know that was going to change. Match, a little less than 4 minutes, she got the win. Here was the match I was looking forward to the most, and I think this is the one that you guys need to go back and watch. Besides Danny, Limelight, and Jungle Boy, this is probably the second match on the card that I think you guys really should watch. It's Max Caster and Dante Martin. I don't know if Darius is hurt, but I haven't seen him, and maybe that's a reason why they weren't on the tag team match at Revolution. But as you know, I have an Acclaimed shirt. I'm a big fan of Acclaimed, mostly Max Caster. I like them both, of course. I love them as a team, but I always have a favorite in a tag team, and Max is my favorite. I like his raps. I know sometimes people may think they're distasteful, but I think why is it distasteful when he does it? But everything MJF has ever done, including the stuff he's done in kayfabe when meeting kids in person, how is that any different? You guys praise him, but you don't praise Max Caster. So give Max Caster some credit, especially after beating Dante Martin in this match. 8 minutes, two athletic guys, two guys I'm a very big fan of. Dante had just turned 20, people. He was a teenager. He is the youngest signed talent to AEW, and he is very good. He's got a bright future. So go back and watch that match. Fun little 8-minute match. Very good. Abaddon and Raylyn. Raylyn, love her. I posted a picture of me and her at a show in Tucson. It was actually the same show where I met Crime Time, rest in peace, Shag Gaspard, and as well as Big Cass showed up on that show as well. I believe Thunder Rosa was on that show with match with Raylyn and Tennille Dashwood from Impact. So I've met Raylyn, really nice lady and very big fan of her. So, but you knew that Abaddon loves to eat human flesh, and she ate Raylyn for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever you want to call it, or just this afternoon snack or an evening snack, since it was evening time when this match took place. Anyway, moving on. Powerhouse Hobbs versus the guy on a hot streak, Brandon Cutler, won 9 out of his last 10 matches. But of course, now he's on a 2-match losing streak because he lost versus Powerhouse Hobbs, which we all knew was going to happen. There's no doubt about it there. Powerhouse Hobbs is a powerhouse, and Brandon Cutler, although a very impressive streak on Dark of 9 straight victories after being, the opposite of undefeated for so many matches before that. Now is he going to start another losing streak? I don't know. He's 0 for 2 in his last 2. Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win. With Hook, by the way, which I hope Hook someday is replaced by Layla Hirsch, who, congratulations, has been signed and is all elite. Diamante, my favorite top 3. She's in my top 3 of people that are regularly on AEW, and I still haven't seen that AEW graphic all elite come across the screen. I'm waiting for it. I just haven't seen it. But her and Ivelisse won the tag team tournament there that they had. They have the medals. Come on, it's got to lead to them getting signed someday. I want to see more Diamante. Please. She beat Layla Gray in a very quick match. Again, just like Red Velvet's match, it was a little under 4 minutes. Then you had the Mondo 8-man tag match versus with Butcher and the Blade teaming up with Private Party. They are all Big Money Matt signees. I want to sign with Big Money Matt because sure, I'll be giving up 30%, but when you sign with Big Money Matt, you get a larger contract. So therefore, you're actually probably making money even if you're giving up 30%. Bunny out there again. I hope someday we get to see Bunny in the women's division dominate, or at least have some matches and do a good job. But they were fighting 4 unsigned talents, and Brick Aldridge, Carly Bravo, David Ali, and Dean Alexander, and those guys all did their job perfectly. It was a decent match for a 4.5-minute time frame. It was more of the, watching Butcher and Blade team with Private Party, kind of an odd pairing. Even the Butcher and Blade with Matt Hardy is a odd pairing. But anyway, then, I don't know when it happened in the card. I just read down most of the matches. I went through 12 already. But they did advertise Michael Nakazawa versus Matt Sydal before Dark Elevation. So when they did the promo with Kenny Omega, and he was out there with Michael Nakazawa, and he was talking about his top 5, which was all Michael Nakazawa, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matt Sydal did not like that too much. He said, put me in a match versus you, and Matt Sydal, or Kenny Omega, said, who was nice seeing, by the way. It was nice seeing backstage promos and backstage segments, which I heard is not a regular thing on Dark. So hopefully this is more of a lead-in to their second show on TNT, where we're going to get more backstage promos like that. We're going to get the big names every now and then on there. It was nice seeing Kenny Omega on there. We're talking to Matt Sydal. So he said, if you beat Michael Nakazawa, I'll give you your title match. Or, I'm sorry, then I'll give you a match with me, and if you beat me, then you'll get a title match. Well, sure as crap, that match is next on what I'm talking about. It was under 3 minutes. Michael Nakazawa could not slip his way out of this one, just like he had made Matt Sydal slip on Matt Sydal's debut. Little people forget. Nope, Reno did not forget that. Reno did see that was another long-term storytelling, right? Moving on. The match is over. Matt Sydal came out. Kenny Omega knew that Matt Sydal had just earned himself a match, which he had said, I believe, on Dynamite, that if he beat Kenny on Dynamite, he would have his title match. But he said, nope, screw it. I'm doing the match right now. He did the match, one wing angeled Matt Sydal, which I don't believe the match rang for that to start. But they rang the bell after he pinned him after the one wing angel. It was just a one move squash match, if you want to call it that. But unfair. He'd already had 2 matches that night, Matt Sydal. So Tony Khan came out there in one of his only appearances on TV, besides, the Rest in Peace Brody episode, but he tries to stay away from on-screen personality stuff, and he did say after this it's not something he's looking to do going forward. It's not something he likes to do, is take time away from talent on screen. He's not all about himself. I do believe that he's genuine when he says that, just based on all the things he's done in the past. But he came out, he said, this demanded my attention right away, immediately, and he said, Kenny, that's not how it's going to go down. He's already in 2 matches. He earned himself a shot on Dynamite, so he's going to have some time to recover. He's going to get 9 days to recover, and he's going to have that match versus Kenny Omega on Dynamite, not this week, but next week's. So it was kind of cool, just seeing Kenny Omega out there on this Dark show, this YouTube show. It was really cool seeing. But that led to the main event with Riho and Maki Itoh, which everybody was looking forward to. That was a proper main event. It was the longest match of the night by far, by almost 2.5 minutes. And it was a little over 11 minutes the match was, and we got to see what we wanted to see. 2 very good Japanese women's wrestlers going at it. Maki Itoh came out with her usual gimmick, doing the sing and dance stuff. She's very good, very underrated as a singer. I went to a kitty cafe over there there is so many commercials going on right here. I cannot believe it. I went over there to Japan, and I saw a kitty cafe where they actually do that song and dance stuff over there inside the cafes. It's nothing sleazy. They're wearing uniforms, kind of like how Maki Itoh wears. And so it's very normal. And like I said this week in our Dynamite review, she's very normal to Japanese fans. But over here, we love her. She's different. We love her. She came out, did her thing, and we enjoyed it. So the match was great. Riho, of course, got the win, but it wasn't easy. It was a hard-fought match on both sides. I actually thought either one of them could win. Sure, Riho just came back. She's 1-1 since her comeback, but I didn't think for 1 second that was going to be the reason she was going to win the match. I didn't think she was guaranteed to beat Maki. So hopefully we see more Maki in the future. I don't know how long she's over here for, but I hope that we get to see more of her. Fans want more of her. She showed that she can stack up with the rest of the roster very well. So I enjoyed it. That was it. That was your AEW Dark Elevation debut. Paul White making his debut as well. A lot of people just go back and listen to old Paul White interviews. Not in kayfabe, not when he was the Giant or whatever they called him in WCW or that stuff. But go back and watch his stuff. It wasn't that he had lack of enthusiasm. That's just how he's always talked. He's monotone. He's got a dry sense of humor sometimes, just like me. So I think he did a very good job as the number 2 to Tony Schiavone. Very good color guy. Not the play-by-play guy, of course, but I think he did a very good job, and I got no complaints for him. Good to see him out there. But the show was overall a success, I believe. This Dynamite review, or this review, has been about 14.5 minutes. I wanted to keep it under 15, and I did that. So hopefully you guys give it a chance next week. It's good to finally watch wrestling on Mondays. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I haven't watched Raw in a long time. I still watch WWE pay-per-views, but this is about AEW, their debut show, Dark Elevation. It was a success. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to watch next week and watch wrestling on Mondays over and over. So here you go. I'm going to end with the song I had playing, and have a good night.